Like he just kind of mutters every line. That or he did the original movie without his terrible accent, and he wanted to go back and do. He's like, no, guys, I gotta go. No, we gotta redo all my dialogue. I got this hip new jive accent that I wanted to. It's like, what the fuck is happening? It's insane.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Cuddy say can't hang.
Oh, stewardess, I speak jive.
Oh, good.
Hello and welcome back to the 155th episode. Good, Bad, or Bad show. Watch terrible movies, tell you should too. I'm your host, Mr. Brian Chiligo, joined once again by the inimitable Mr. Kyle Hinton. Kyle, what did we talk about last time? It's been so long since we recorded, I don't remember.
Last time.
What was our last movie? It was Avengers Grimm, your favorite film. And we get a shot from outside of a terrible, like, little CG Luferrigno flying out of the 20th story.
That's how much I blocked it from my memory.
To be fair, I forgot about it too. It's fairly forgettable. But this week we're
going back to the well, baby.
Going back to a well, the old Steven Seagal hole.
Man, let me tell you about a time when Steven Seagal was getting all types of good with his roles and sounded like he's down there with the soul of the man.
Like these astrology things and this kind of poetry concerning the arcane and the occult, and you know where I could find something like that here?
Yep. It's Kill Switch.
Steven Seagal in this film has a very interesting accent.
It's something else. It's something else.
I need statements from everybody up in there right quick, you hear?
Kyle, this is a 2008 film written by Steven Seagal.
Really?
So
I couldn't tell.
You know it's gonna be fucking good. Directed by a guy named Jeff King, who's went on to direct and produce for the Umbrella Academy. So you can, in fact, do something with Steven Seagal and have a successful career afterwards.
You can fail upwards.
Yeah, because the direction in this film is insane.
Yes.
2008, as I said, this is right in the prime of alcoholic, lazy Seagal, who's just like stumbling around.
And very clearly, every given opportunity, they use a stunt double for him.
A stunt double, it's terrible. It's the worst. We'll talk about it when we get to the fight scenes. But this is Seagal at his worst.
Yes.
And not that he had a very high peak. But this
Well, there is like the sniper.
There are some movies back in the
where he just spends the entire film sitting at a folding chair in front of a table.
There are other worse Seagal films, I'm sure, but this is amongst this is up there with Seagal at his worst.
Listen to me. Which colored wire do I cut? The one that said you want it.
This is, oh boy. So this movie opens with a frame story that truly does not matter. Like a flashback in time story that truly is irrelevant.
We go
to
back
the
to the
rest of
70s because, my God, those outfits.
Yes, this is, I assume we're when the hell was Steven Seagal born? When would he have been a little, like a 10-year-old? Would it be the 70s?
I think so.
Steven
I want to say
Seagal.
late 50s.
He was born in 1952.
Oh.
So in 1970, which is when it looks like this takes place, he would have been like 20. So that is not...
Good Lord. All right.
Maybe this is supposed to be like the early 60s.
He's a little bit older than I gave him credit for.
Yeah, maybe it's supposed to... Yeah, he's like 70. He's exactly 70 now. Maybe this is supposed to be like the early 60s, which would make him like 10 or 11.
But like everybody has a sweater vest on.
Yes.
Nice button up. Some pants that open up to like near parachute.
Yeah, they're flared. Yeah, they're almost bell bottoms.
It's very, very 70s.
The young Steven Seagal played by a young Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This little kid, I was like, is that like a little Joseph Gordon-Levitt? It looks anyway,
just a bit.
But he's running around, and they're
playing hide and
seek.
Yeah.
Immediately start with the insane editing. Which there's so many random shots here, and half of them have like an old-timey Instagram filter, and half of them don't.
And then there's like quick shifts and little static
and
effects.
It jumps around, which that kind of works for this like memory thing, but that editing will persist throughout the entire film.
And once again, it would be great if this meant anything.
True. This story doesn't tell us anything about our character, because what we find out is that this is Steven Seagal as a child, and it's at a birthday party, and his twin brother, I believe, they look like about the same age and similar. His twin brother, he finds his dead body. At this point, we don't know what all has happened. They come across his dead twin brother's body, and everybody freaks out. And they're like, oh my God! And this is his tragic backstory. And I think the whole idea is just supposed to be that ultimately we will find out that his brother was killed by a serial killer?
I guess.
It's never explained.
I know.
It's just a guy. It's just some dude who like slices his brother's
Once
neck.
again, this doesn't really mean anything. It's just there.
Yes. It literally is just there. Again, I think the idea is it's supposed to be what inspired Steven Seagal to become the serial killer hunting super cop that he is today. I think is what we're supposed to get out of this. But anyway, so then we cut back from the flashback and get a shot of sad Steven Seagal just like sitting there, and then it fades to black, and then we really get into the movie. And we open up on a woman laying on the ground with a bomb sewn into her chest.
So fucking ridiculous.
It's like, wait, what?
And this is where this is where we were first introduced to the accent. It's got a bunch of C4 strapped into her chest. You better keep it chill, man.
He's got C4 sewn up in the chest.
It's not like him to leave out in the open like this.
Nah, he flipping him on, man. He trying to f with our heads.
Yeah. Oh, he calls people baby so much in this movie. We talking about baby? Like he says baby so much. It's so upsetting.
Oh my God.
I hate it.
Hey, baby, what's happening?
You got some people waiting up front?
I ain't need no people out front.
But anyway, also he is like not remotely worried about standing over a woman who has a pound of C4. He's like sewn into her chest. He's just looking at her like,
Yeah.
well, all right.
All right. Anyways,
I guess this is what we're doing.
he is the bestest cop ever.
Immediately looks up at the building behind them and is like, he's in there.
He's in there watching us.
And then he just opens the exact right door. It's like, wait, what?
Best cop ever.
He just kicks down the door of the guy who sewed the bomb into this woman's chest, and then just starts beating
him. Obviously, the whole point of it is trying to get information how to disarm the bomb.
Yeah.
But it's the normal Steven Seagal shtick where he's waving his hands around, kicks him.
And then he throws... His fighting style in this movie is throw people into stuff over and over.
Yes, it is.
Over.
The amount of headbanging against objects is...
insane.
Yeah.
And I cannot stress enough that this movie probably holds the record for most number of edits of any film that we have ever reviewed.
It's very fast editing because they have to cover up everything done.
Come on, White Trash.
So initially I was like, why would you make this editing choice? This is frenetic and a nightmare, and it's not, you can't see what's happening. It's just, it gives you a headache. And I was like, we watched the same thing happen 8 times in a row, because I was like, wait, are we watching fucking Rollerblade 7 where we'll see like somebody go out a window like 7 times in a row? But there's so many cuts, and then I realized, oh, it's because they got the footage and saw 60-year-old or 50-year-old Steven Seagal stumbling around the set, flailing his arms around, and they were like, oh my God, this looks ridiculous. Our only option is edit the shit out of it.
Hey, who's the director of this again? Jeff something, right?
No, that was the director. Yeah, Jeff King was the director.
Yeah.
Jeff,
I need to get a drink for a second. You got this covered, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Steven, just...
We'll get the stunt double in and just shoot everything with them. With the terrible wig on their fucking head.
Terrible wig on their head. What about Steven Seagal's head?
Yeah.
I can't even tell what this is anymore, because it's just Lego hair.
He does.
He just has Lego hair.
He does. He really does. He looks insane in this movie.
He also looks constantly constipated. Like he's really trying to pass whatever is.
Oh
is
yeah, it's because all the painkillers. He's like, Kyle, this is an unwell man at this point. He's
I'm just reminded of Train Spotting. Yeah, heroin makes you constipated.
Yeah.
I'm not constipated anymore.
Yeah, it's rough. He looks terrible. So he beats the shit out of this guy, and then eventually gets him to tell him which wire to cut. So
and he says the opposite.
And he lies, and Seagal, being the super genius he is like, cut the opposite color.
And then he kicks the dude out of a window.
And then he kicks him out of the window.
Yeah, after he said, "All right, we're gonna arrest you."
Yeah.
By the way, fuck you.
Fucking drop kick you out of the window. We'll replay it 6 times in a row as you fly out the window and fall to the ground. It's insane. And so yeah, he has now. I literally thought the editing had to be a joke, like a practical joke at this point, and it continues throughout every action scene. So he kicks the guy out the window, but they were able to save the girl with the bomb in her chest. Hooray. Now he returns home. Seagal returns home to his lovely girlfriend, or we don't know at this point, just the woman he is sleeping with, who comes strolling out, much younger than him, strolling out in her nightgown with a glass of wine. And most of Seagal's dialogue in this movie is terrible ADR.
I would only imagine it's because he either has like awkward heavy breathing, or he just was so
winded the entire time in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably true. That is probably true.
Or he's just so quiet you can't pick, like, because you have to balance the sound to some degree.
And he like, well, whisper everything.
What else you got, Ice?
Cause of death was a result of massive blood force trauma.
Yeah, in other words, she beat to death.
Like he just kind of mutters every line. That or he did the original movie without his terrible accent, and he wanted to go back and do. He's like, no, guys, I gotta go. No, we gotta redo all my dialogue. I got this hip new jive accent that I wanted to. It's like, what the fuck is happening? It's insane.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Cuddy say can't hang.
Oh, stewardess, I speak jive.
Oh, good.
So she's like, hey, you should come to bed, and he's like, no, I gotta work. The job is my life, blah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
She's upset.
I have to work.
And then we get another flashback of the kid, and we kind of get revealed a little bit more information of the backstory every time. We're still not to the point where we reveal I guess, serial killer. But
I guess at this point, the most we're revealing is that there was somebody else there.
Somebody was there, and he was like standing there watching them, and you're like, what's going on? Yeah. So then we cut to a random scene of a woman walking down the street, and a guy is putting a baby in a car that is crying.
Yes.
Yes. Where were the crying baby sounds coming from,
that
Kyle?
was from the cassette player in the back seat that they were playing.
It must have been, because it's like not a baby, it's like a fire extinguisher or something like that, because she walks over to help him, and he just clubs her in the head with a fire extinguisher and knocks her out. And I assume this is our serial killer, because he starts sort of, after he gets her, he started it's like, we had 2 movies in a row where there's like a lot of weird Christian, like biblical.
Yeah, this one's like weird astronomy stuff.
Well, yeah, astrology, but he also quotes stuff that's like vaguely biblical, like at times.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I have heard the truth. I've seen the peaks. I've seen the valleys.
But he's our serial killer. We'll find out his name, and I mean his name is Lazarus.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But his name is Lazarus something Jones, or I don't remember.
It's Lazarus up there. He's deep into the science of astrology. Sick as you'll ever meet.
But yeah, so he kills this random woman on the street, or gets her and then kills her later. Then we cut and we're introduced to our coroner character.
Yes, medical examiner, Sir Isaac Hayes.
Played by one Isaac Hayes in one of his final roles. Before he... He's gonna take it out.
Whoa, okay, so the main... for you kids who don't know who Isaac Hayes is...
Yes.
He's the longtime voice of Chef from South Park. Also, if you've ever seen Shaft... And good Lord, why would you? He did the opening theme song to that. Those are the two.
This cat Shaft is a bad mother. I'm talking about Shaft.
Big thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's also a a rather well-known.
Oh yeah,
musician.
he was like he was Mr.
Like a
Love
singer.
back in the day.
Yeah, very famous voice, Isaac Hayes. But yeah, he passed away in 2008, which was like the year this movie came out. So
yeah, this was like just like a month after he passed away is when this film came out.
and and he is in like 3 scenes in this movie. They shot them all in one day in this coroner's office. It's the only location he's ever at. But he is the coroner/medical examiner, and we find out he's like looking at the body, and at one point, Seagal's there. He sees a tattoo on this body.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, it's the moon. That's the astrological symbol for the full moon.
This is the astrological symbol for the full moon. Oh man, really trying to tell us something, ain't he now?
That means something.
Okay.
I guess, sure, we'll see.
Yep.
We're kind of going for like a weird zodiac, because we also get like ciphers later, which we'll get to, but yeah. So then I don't remember where, but he realizes he needs to go get information from somebody, and he goes to like a bar, right?
Yes.
I think he goes to a bar because he beats the shit out of some dude in a bar. He goes into the bar and he's talking to this guy, and he goes, "Guess you want to talk to my fist?" And then he starts.
Guess you want to talk to my fist.
Beating the shit out of him. But actually, first, Seagal gets the absolute shit kicked out of him by these guys in this bar. There's like 2 or 3 guys there, and they're just beating the shit out of Steven Seagal forever. Like, he's on the ground just getting the shit kicked out of him, and he's just fine. That's actually one of my biggest complaints with this movie. Every fight scene, everybody takes comical amounts of damage and is never affected by it. At all. Nobody. Anybody. Like.
No, I think the best one is probably in this fight. There's one dude who like is losing teeth.
Yes. Well, at the end of it. Well, yeah. Are you talking about the guy at the end, or you like
the guy at the end where he's like losing teeth, but then he shows up in that shootout like just right afterwards.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he seems
he's completely fine.
Yeah. But he also he just. Like the editing in these are so bad. It's just nothing. They're so boring. I don't know how you have a fight scene where so much nonsense is happening that is so boring, and it's so boring because you can't see what's happening because we're constantly cutting between a stunt double and Steven Seagal, and I just love. He gets at one point, the guy gets a pipe in this scene and is wailing on Steven Seagal with a lead pipe and just like hitting him with it, and he's fine. It doesn't. Yeah, well,
it's all the drugs. He just doesn't even feel it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, yeah, that could be true. I think what happened is that Seagal had the idea when he was writing the script that in these fight scenes it would make him a more interesting protagonist if he doesn't just beat the shit out of everybody instantly, but instead he takes a beating. Kind of cute, like the Bruce Willis like a Die Hard.
I always think like one of the better examples of that is there's one scene in Training Day where Ethan Hawke beats 2 guys in an alleyway. Yeah, and they kick his ass for like a solid minute.
Right. But so I think he's going for that. But in this, he doesn't, because after those fights, he's never hurt at all. He's just fine. It completely ruins the effect of it. Like
even when he's injured, he's just like, oh.
Like he's just fine the whole time. And it's like, well, if you're not getting hurt, then them kicking the shit out of you doesn't add anything. It's just, it turns it into a fucking farce, but whatever.
At least have like even later in a scene where you're like clearly in pain, like, you have like possibly a bruised, broken rib or something.
Something. Not at all. And I love there's so many shots towards the end of this fight scene in this bar where we get the stunt double's hands flailing doing the Seagal, whatever. And then it cuts to a shot of Seagal's face and he looks bored. He's like,
yes.
And his arms are kind of moving, but he's like, and then it cuts to the shot of the hands like, and then it cuts back to Seagal and he's like,
okay.
It's so ridiculous. It's like the editors were fucking with him. They're like, "Fuck you, Seagal, you asshole." It looks ridiculous. then, like you said, he gets the last guy, and he fucking does. He
curb stomps him on a bar.
Yeah, he like makes him bite the bar and like knocks his fucking teeth out as he's interrogating him. And this turns on the waitress something fierce, which is fucking insane. I was like, somebody needs to watch her. She gets done. She's like, he gets done like just committing absolute police brutality on this guy, and she's like, so what's your deal? What are you up to? And it's like, what the fuck is going on? Oh god.
Come with me, I need to take your statement.
And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna arrest you. I'll have the office, the uniforms come get you. And he just leaves the front and leaves the guy there.
Yeah.
And then the guy runs out with a gun.
Yes.
Like, what were you doing?
Yes.
It's so weird.
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
But anyways, they're leaving because he like needs to take a statement with her. But as they're leaving, the guy who he just like
beat the shit out of,
curb stomped
his teeth out. Yeah,
just gets down the alley behind a dumpster and starts firing round after round.
And then we get an insane shootout, and then random guys from across the street. Who are they? I don't know. Just random guys across the street. I guess they're like gang members with this guy or something. I don't know. Start shooting at Seagal, and we get an amazing.
Oh yeah, all that organized crime in Memphis, Tennessee.
I love Seagal when he doesn't aim. He just holds the gun like this, like he like holds it up and just like throws bullets at people.
Brian, thank you for having proper trigger discipline.
Yeah. But he never aims. He never aims. It's insane. But he gets in a shootout and finally is able to kill him or whatever. And then he shoots the guy in the alley as he's running away. I don't remember exactly what happens. He kills the guy in the alley though.
Yeah.
And then all the rest of the police show up. And then as they're all like getting out of there, the serial killer walks out of the bar and like glances at the bartender and walks away. I was like, where was he? What? He wasn't in the scene?
Where was he? And also, why aren't the cops stopping him? He would be like a witness or something.
He was like, but we never saw him in the bar. He just shows up and is like, I'm here. And he sees the bartender, which becomes important later because he will catch her and murder her. It's insane. So then he gets in. He's got to talk to the police. He's like doing like a debriefing or whatever, and he's in the police station. And the police captain or whatever, his performance is great in this scene. He's like, the damn media giving these killers nicknames. Also, I'm pretty sure this police captain is like intoxicated during. He's kind of slurring a little bit. It's amazing.
I've been assigned to look into the grifter case.
Grifter. Damn the press and their nicknames.
Jacob know about this?
And then basically they're just talking about they got to catch this killer that they call the grifter. I think is what
I think so. But like, so they're at the point where this serial killer is getting more and more high profile.
Yeah.
So much so that the Fed, is it the FBI?
They are about to send. I don't think she showed up yet, but yeah, they're sending an FBI agent in.
Yeah. Which of course, in any situation where you have the federal agents clashing with the local police, it's always like people coming in thinking they can upstage us, making us look bad.
Yeah, yeah. So they're all just assholes to her for no reason. It's ridiculous.
Possibly offer some of my own expertise.
I'd love some of your expertise, because I can see at your age, you probably got a lot more expertise than we do.
Anyway, so then we cut to a bar, and there's a random woman there who's talking to like the bartender, and I guess he's trying to set her up with I don't know what's going on, but he sends her outside to go walk down the alley and to meet somebody. I don't know if he's supposed to be like her pimp or something. I don't know. But she goes down this alley and there's this guy waiting for her. And he's like, yeah, come here, yeah. And then he gets garroted.
Yes. At least from like the beginning, it seems like the targets were a lot of like ladies of the night.
Yeah, it was like prostitutes generally speaking. That the serial killer was going. I don't know who this guy is or why he kills him. I don't remember.
It just seemed like happenstance.
Yeah,
but
it was very confusing. So he kills this guy. And then we get the scene of them examining the body afterwards, and I love Steven Seagal goes,
looks like he was choked with a garrote. Good Lord have mercy.
Looks like he was choked by a garrote. Lord have mercy. It's so stupid. Oh my god. So then anyways,
it seems like he was definitely trying to go for a more Cajun
Yes,
Louisiana.
I think he was trying to go for like a southern fried.
You do realize you're like significantly more north than Louisiana, right?
Yeah, it's whatever. I don't know. It's so weird.
The film's set in Memphis, Tennessee, by the way.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter playing anything, but it is set in Memphis. And then so they found the guy who was garroted in the alley. He got drug up to this apartment that they're investigating, and they find his body like sitting at a table. And we're also kind of, I think, going for a bit of like a Seven feel to this film little bit.
all the murders have a purpose. They're all leading up to something.
They're leading up to something, and we don't know what. And the killer's like, again, has like this like plan or whatever. So this is where the Fed shows up, and she's kind of looking around, and they're all just being assholes to her. And then as she's leaving with we find out in the scene too that the girl that Seagal was sleeping with is like a uniformed police officer. She's just there on the scene. She's not like a detective or whatever. But the FBI agent and her, the uniformed police girlfriend of Seagal, like leave the apartment together, and they walk out into the hallway and immediately hear somebody screaming and go run and kick down a random other door. And it's some guy just assaulting his girlfriend.
Yeah, what?
I was like, what is happening?
Okay.
It's so weird. And the idea is just to establish her as like kind of a no-nonsense badass, basically. Like she just...
And like another part of it is like no nonsense in regard to super following the rules, but also very green when it comes to dealing with like real situations.
Right. Yeah. But yeah. So anyways, the guy, she's trying to like get the guy to stop, and then he's got a knife, and she beats him up with a fucking
classic generic bad guy who's also like domestic abuser. Wife beater on and everything. Yeah. He's got a knife, the beard, tattoos, blue jeans. It's like, my God.
Yeah, I mean, they went to the domestic assault superstore and pulled the guy off the shelf and put him in the scene. Yeah, is what happened there. But she beats the shit out of this guy and is able to stop him from like a killing or whatever his girlfriend. And then we just move on. Again, none of that actually really matters other than kind of establishing our character for the FBI agent. Then we get a little scene where we get Seagal talking about how he's really close to cracking the code, the cipher.
Oh my! You mean the fucking Hangman style Zodiac code crap?
The Zodiac
code.
It's
so stupid.
It's incredible. I love. He's like, man, I'm really close on this cipher, baby. Real close.
Hey, Lightning, have you figured out the code yet?
Man, I'm real close in this cipher, baby. Real close.
It's like I can definitely buy Steven Seagal as a master like code cracker or whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
I just gotta translate it into Sanskrit.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
I broke the code. So you kill is a soul you keep. At the edge of space, this is a true religion.
But then we find out. We cut to the next scene, and they're explaining that the guy from the beginning who sewed C4 into that woman's chest is being released.
Now, probably because
Seagal beat the shit out of him. But that wouldn't... my thought would be I don't know. I could be wrong. That he wouldn't be released, but that he would get like compensation or something.
Yeah, or at the very least, like he's on some sort of parole, or not parole, but bond.
Or I would even say that he would be... He would still be. He sewed C4 into a woman's chest.
Absolutely. But the thing is, it's not there to look realistic. It's just there to prove he's got connections.
I know.
And B, somebody is corrupt.
Yeah, somebody's corrupt or whatever. But it's just.
It is ridiculous. Though.
It's like, what? Okay, sure. Yeah. But he gets out, and as he's driving away from
he kills his fucking lawyer.
Everybody in the car. The driver. I don't know who the driver and stuff are, but the driver and the other guy. He just murders them all with his pocket knife.
Like, and they leave the car on I-40. I'm not sure if are you familiar with I-40?
I'm aware of the highway I-40.
Interstate 40.
Yeah, Interstate 40. Yeah,
it's huge. It's like, and they just leave a bloodied, abandoned vehicle on like an exit ramp. Somebody's gonna fucking notice that.
He doesn't seem to care at all. He's got his own plans, which include murdering more people. So yeah, he just murders everybody in that car. It's pretty incredible. Then we get another coroner scene, and I don't remember if we learn anything super important here, but Seagal just sees one of the other murder victims and is like, what a shame, pretty girl got murdered. It's like, we all know it's much sadder when pretty people get killed. Steven Seagal.
Man, what a shame. Pretty young girl like this end up like that.
But he cracks the code.
Which, once again, another movie with Steven Seagal in a coroner's office looking over bodies. They got to be attractive young women.
Yeah, they have to be. They have to be. But he does crack the code, and I love, he's like, I can read the words. I just don't know what he's saying.
I can read the words. I just don't know what he's saying.
So he cracks the code, but it's written in like vague, like poetic, biblical, you know, like Revelation speech or whatever. So he doesn't know like what it's talking about, but he has cracked the fucking code. So then he's got to get some information because he doesn't know what it says. So he goes to the public library to try to do some.
This scene is so fucking stupid. This scene is so stupid. He goes up to the help desk. I don't even want to say this person's a librarian. They're more like a discount clerk or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't help you. Maybe it's in like a
I kind of love this character.
Whatever.
I kind of fell in love with her. But because she was mean to Steven Seagal, so I was like, I kind of love you. I think I love you.
Concerning the arcane and the occult and, you know where I could find something like that here?
That's not my job. Check the directory.
But like she's standoffish, unhelpful.
Yeah.
And
I love at the end, he's like, can you point me to a directory where I could find information about this? And she goes, that's not my job. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's exactly your job. But I mean, I get it. Steven Seagal's an asshole.
So we immediately jump forward in time to later that evening because they're closing.
Yes.
And then she becomes super helpful, obviously, because she needs to get out of there.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I'm guessing so.
Yeah, because she just becomes instantly nice to him.
Yeah, and she instantly has information for him of a page that he had showed her beforehand.
Yeah, she's like I don't know, that's nothing. And then she goes, I do know.
Yeah, it's like 5 hours later. Okay, I am willing to help you.
It's lyrics from this band that I saw once at some club. It's like, what the fuck? So she's like, yeah, those lyrics are from some band.
That line you wrote down, it's from their song. That's what you're looking for, right?
And she goes, we have multiple movies in a row here where there's a band involved with a serial killer.
Yes. What the fuck?
Our next movie, our next episode is very similar, kind of. I was not planned. Then she gets on the bus to leave and she runs into the bomb chest guy. He's on the bus and he's just like, hey, how you doing? It's like, okay.
Yes.
Literally, this movie, if you are a woman who interacts with Steven Seagal at any point, you are going to die.
Yes.
I am sorry for you, but you are going to die if you have a conversation with Steven Seagal.
That does sound very accurate for most Steven Seagal films.
It's probably pretty accurate for Steven Seagal in real life, too, if I had to guess. But
I watch the news. I seen you a bunch of times. You some hot shot, huh?
Yeah, baby, I'm a hot shot.
So anyways, then he goes to this bar where the band is playing or whatever, and he meets a girl who's there, and this character is so weird. He's like, I'm looking for this band or whatever, and she's talking to him about how she writes.
Yeah, she likes movie scripts, songs, but mostly movie scripts.
Yeah, mostly movie scripts. I was like, that's a weird two things to write.
Yeah.
I'm a writer. I write movie scripts and songs. It's like, okay.
I write screenplays mostly, some songs.
She points out
a lane.
Lazarus.
Yeah.
She points him out, and he immediately books it. My God, don't look incriminating at all.
Yeah, right.
But it's so amazing.
God,
so like he goes after him, and immediately gets into a fight with fucking everybody trying to get across. It's so amazing. He's like punching people, throwing them out of the way.
It's just random patrons in his bar.
It immediately turns into a mosh pit.
Yeah.
For a song that doesn't merit it because it's like
no. But then we get the world's most boring, longest ass chase.
Yes.
It goes on forever. They're just chasing each other and shooting at each other, and it's just.
I do like how this bar is next to an industrial complex.
Yeah.
Of just
like a sweet
concrete
bar.
hallways.
Yeah, it really is. We end up in this crazy concrete maze labyrinth that they're just chasing through. Getting a big shootout, and then. There's this one great moment where he opens a door and comes around the corner of the door, and we get the cut of him bringing his gun up 4 times in a row as he looks around the corner. This is
a situation. There's a lot of once again, editing in this movie is fucking crazy.
It's insane.
And there's a lot of situations where I think they really fucked up when they were filming it.
Oh yeah,
because you could tell they flipped a lot of shots.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I missed
they
that.
flipped a lot of shots. I think
to
try and save the screen direction,
probably,
but it just looks like garbage.
It's so we finally get to the end of this chase, which goes on. It went on so long that I like zoned out like twice.
Run down a hallway, throw over some barrels, shoot out a light
a couple times, run down another hallway. It's just fucking so boring, literally. And then so he finally gets caught up to this guy, and they get into a fist fight. They now don't shoot each other for some reason. I think one of them drops their gun or whatever, and they're beating the shit out of each other. And then Lazarus turns to Steven Seagal and says,
"All my life, I searched for a worthy adversary. Someone understands me.
All my life, I've looked for a worthy adversary. You're that person."
Okay.
He's got Steven Seagal is his chosen foe, and now they will square off, which is pretty great. And then Steven Seagal gets him on the ground and is just kicking the shit out of this guy for like 20 straight seconds.
I would say this much. Steven Seagal is a tall dude.
Yeah.
This guy is
not big.
He is a small little man.
Small guy, yeah.
Small little guy. I would say even at his age, if he were to catch up to him, Steven Seagal would normally have no problem kicking this dude's ass.
Yeah.
Your main villain for this is not. I mean, he's methodical as much as he's a fucking psychopath.
Right.
But he's like not really threatening.
No.
And it just kind of looks.
It looks
funny.
stupid. Well, and he gets him on the ground and he's kicking the shit out of him to the point where it's like that guy would be like he would be dead.
Yeah.
Like you would have won this fight already. But he's not. He's able to get back up. And it's like, oh, okay, great. But he's able to get back up and just runs off. And Seagal like can't stop him.
Well, because he's winded.
Yeah. It's like, we've been running for so fucking long.
Hey, Steven, this is the part where we gotta chase him. Jeff.
He gets away. He gets away.
We're good.
This is the scene where he gets away. No, this is not. This is the scene where he gets away.
Yes, Mr. Seagal. Right away, Mr. Seagal.
So the guy runs away, and then we cut to him with his next victim, who is the bartender from earlier.
Also, he's wearing like this weird fucking jockstrap.
Yes, he's got super sexy underwear, man. I don't know what's going on there. He's wearing like a black jockstrap for some reason.
It just looks like, okay, he's in his underwear. This is weird. And then he turns around and is like, oh, there's a lot of man ass. Okay.
Yep. And he tells her in this scene that he can speak every language and that he can channel evil spirits.
What is the fuck?
I can speak any language, ancient or otherwise. Egyptian, Sanskrit, Hebrew.
Which again, he's crazy. Like the idea is that he's like, he's lost it and is
whenever he was cool thing. I can't say cool thing, but like interesting thing is whenever he was getting away from Steven Seagal, he scratched him.
Yeah,
he got a bunch of his skin under his fingernails. So he takes that skin and puts it under her fingernails.
Yes, yeah. It's clever. It's fine. And then there's also a really creepy and this actually is really creepy, where I don't know if she's dead at this point yet or not. It's hard to tell. She's either unconscious or dead. I can't remember. But there's also this moment where he pulls out a dental dam and kisses her through it so that he doesn't get his DNA on her, which is really creepy and gross. And like that was at least an actually effective, like creepy serial killer moment. But anyways, so then she's now, again, she will be dead if she isn't in that scene. It was hard to tell.
I think she was the one who was in the house.
Like staked to the door. Yeah.
To the door.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't think she's dead yet in this scene, just unconscious or whatever. But then we cut from there to my librarian girlfriend who just slept with a C4 chest guy.
Yes.
So I was like, oh no, I can fix her. And then. And then that guy murders her. He pulls out a knife, and I assume it kind of happens off camera. I think he's supposed
to
kill her.
getting kinky, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm into this." And then, oh, by the way,
I got a knife.
I'm fucking crazy.
I'm a serial killer. Surprise! I thought he was gonna sew a bomb into her chest, but that does not happen, which was disappointing because I wanted more of that plot line. But anyways, so she's dead now, and then. Something happens where they get a DNA. They're back at the police station and they get a DNA test that confirms that this Lazarus guy his name is Lazarus Jones, is the grifter. I don't know how they did it, but Seagal basically says the DNA confirms it. Lazarus is the grifter or something like that. And then they're running out to go like arrest him or like go to his place to get him.
Yeah, because he has his wallet, so he has like an address at least.
Yeah. So they go to his address and they're like searching and he's not there and they're like going through his house and everything. And the FBI agent ends up out in the barn and there's like this weird serial killer mobile. that like has like a planet hanging on it, and then like random like farming implements and shit. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Again, they're just going for like kind of a Seven like crazy serial killer vibe, but it doesn't. It just kind of ends up being boring. But then when they get there, they find the bartender, as we said, like knife stuck to the door, like nailed to the door, like the 95 Theses. Like Martin, it's like what the fuck is going on? But she's dead now. Then what happens? Oh, then but they can't find him. He's not there. So then he's got to figure out where he is. So he goes home, and we get an intense Seagal studying montage in his office.
Yes,
and we get a shot of him using a little whatchamacallit, magnifying glass, looking at his desk.
Oh, he's got it.
And it's just him squinting at walls.
He's constantly like, he's got a protractor that he's rotating. It's my god,
amazing. And it's just like, and then it's just him just like, I'm gonna figure this out. It's so stupid.
And then it just got as easy as, oh, what if I lay this piece over the paper? Oh my god!
Yeah. Somehow he figures out that he draws some stars on a piece of paper that overlays like a map or whatever, and is like, this is where the killings have been. That means this is where the next killing will be.
As you can see, there's 2 stars missing. His next kill is one of these 2 locations.
So he goes to that bar or whatever where he thinks the next killing is gonna be.
Yep.
Meanwhile, bomb killer guy has broken into his apartment.
Yes.
And grabbed his girlfriend. Like he just shows up, I think, is what happens at that point. We'll get back to that later.
The other thing is, FBI. FBI. She is now convinced because they found Seagal's DNA on the bartender,
on the bartender's fingernails,
and they're like, we got to find.
He's the killer.
He's been framing all this up to cover his own serial killer tracks. Okay,
Yes.
Dexter.
It's the perfect murder. The killer investigates his own crime and pins it on a serial killer he's already investigated.
Yeah, exactly. But first, we have to get a really sweet story where his Seagal's partner tells the FBI agent this story about this cannibal serial killer.
Yep. It was the first time they'd ever been on a case together. Walking down, they got this guy cornered. No time to wait for backup. And he's there eating one of these clowns that was at the carnival, local carnival.
Some guy he ripped from a local carnival, stealing full makeup. He was bent over, chewing on him.
When he says that, the way that, because it's all very serious, and then the camera pulls back wide enough to reveal the clown laying there, and I fucking lost my shit. Now, to be fair, it is intentionally funny. Yeah. We'll find out, but
he keeps playing it up serious, and gets to the part where the guy turns around and he goes,
"Does this taste funny to you?"
It was all set up for a terrible dad joke. God. Amazing. But then, so Seagal is at a bar looking for Lazarus, and Lazarus is there. He just walks right in.
It's like, are you...
Great job.
Whatever.
And I love Seagal walks up behind him as he's like standing at the bar, and Seagal like really awkwardly pulls his badge out of his thing and then holds his gun really weird and is like,
because like
Lazarus Jones, MPD, you're under arrest. Put your hands in the air.
You can tell, like, it was a weird thing where I guess he's got something jacked up with his shoulders.
It must be, yeah. He can't hold, it's so weird. But he pulls his badge out and is like, ugh, and the guy's like, I'm gonna run away now.
Yep. They get into a big fight. That eventually involves tools. It just involves like hammers and screwdrivers and shit.
He starts beating
and he
shit
just
out of them.
breaks every joint this guy has.
Breaks his ribs, his elbow. Like, he's just wailing on him with this ball peen hammer.
There's a part where they're in a closet, like they're fighting in a closet, and it's just constantly Steven Seagal throwing him back and forth.
It's comical how long he slams him into walls in that closet. I was like, what is... We've been watching this scene for like 3 minutes.
They were stretching that out.
It's ridiculous. And then when he does get the hammer, the other guy has like a knife or something, and he like sword fights him. They're like ting 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 ting. It's so stupid. I love it so much. I also just can't. There's this moment in this scene where he does like his lightning speed punch thing early on in the fight, and I can just imagine being on set watching Steven Seagal doing his half of it, and it's just Steven's old fucking painkillered Steven Seagal flailing his arms around for 30 seconds.
Yeah, good Lord. I imagine
I would lose it.
I imagine like people there, like sound person, assistant camera person, just being like, okay, what the fuck are we
What are we filming? What is happening? Are we filming a man dying? What is going on?
Oh, good.
But anyway, so then the cops show up.
Like, I can't tell if he's fighting or having a seizure.
Yeah, for real. But then the uniforms show up and they're like, hey, you got to stop hitting him with a hammer. Please stop hitting him with a hammer.
Oh, good.
Oh, God. So anyways, now, like you said, the feds think that Steven Seagal's the serial killer because of the DNA under the fingernails.
He just leaves this bar, by the way. Just leaves him with the uniform police.
Yeah.
It just leaves this bar. It's like, hey, yeah, you know that guy you massively beat the shit out of? We don't need you for, I don't know, any kind of questioning.
Anything. He just goes home. He just leaves and goes home.
Yep.
He goes home and arrives and finds his dead girlfriend's body laying in bed. And the thing that is amazing is that this does not faze him at all.
Yes.
He has zero reaction to the girl he is with being brutally murdered in his own bedroom. He walks in and is like,
oh,
all right.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Oh, God.
Kevin, your dog died. Just doesn't. I know I put that in the last one.
Yeah.
Kevin, your dog just died.
Holy shit. It's amazing. So, we get another terrible fight scene forever.
Big shocker. The knife dude is still there.
Still there. A big, boring, long-ass fight scene where he just throws them through a million goddamn glass tables. It's just like, and then eventually,
all that sugar glass.
And then eventually we get a knife fight at the end. And isn't this just like the Under Siege fight? Like, basically, I haven't seen Under Siege, but he gets like isn't there a famous knife fight in that where Seagal gets a knife and he's like, or something, whatever.
Yeah, it also reminds me a little bit of Glimmer Man at the end where it's just, the dude's completely outmatched.
Yeah.
He's just fucking with him at some point.
Boring.
Yeah, he's just fucking with them, ends up slicing his neck and killing the C4 chest bomb guy. And he's like, oh, I'm dying, or I'm dead.
You killed me. You don't look dead yet.
You don't look dead yet.
Now you look dead.
Great, amazing. It's
Thank you,
truly
Steven
incredible.
You killed me. Now you don't look dead yet. Now you look dead.
Completely completely oblivious to his murdered girlfriend. Could not care less. And then they show up at his place.
And he's gone.
He's gone. Kyle, this ending, I gotta prep this.
I was so unprepared for this.
Kyle, this ending is insanity. It's legitimately unhinged. I do not understand how Steven Seagal wrote this ending and was like, nailed it. Like, what the fuck? So he just disappears from his apartment when his partner shows up. He leaves him a note that is basically like,
yeah, these guys don't respect the way I conduct myself. So
I know my methods are unconventional. You mean murdering and just everybody?
So
I'm
gonna leave you accountable for everything. You know, I said I wasn't gonna threaten your pension.
Yeah,
well, fuck you, buddy.
I know my methods are unconventional, but hell, that's how I caught Lazarus. Take his confession for me, would you?
Yeah. So he's just gone, and his partner's like, oh, okay. And then we cut, Kyle, to Steven Seagal walking into a house that we've never seen before. Some random fucking house. Walks in, and there's a woman there, and these two kids. And he kisses the woman, and the kids are like, "Dad, Dad," or what they say, like Papa or something like that.
I looked it up on the wiki description of this. His secret Russian family
is okay because it's straight up. He has a secret family.
Was he a Russian sleeper agent?
I don't know, Kyle. At the end of this movie, he just has a secret Russian family. He shows up, people that we have never seen before, 2 kids and this woman. He says hello to the kids. He walks upstairs, Kyle, and this sexy random woman is just like, come on, Steven. Ooh, you're home. And just gets naked in the bedroom. And then he follows her in and shuts the door and the film ends. And I was like,
oh no.
What? The ending of that fucking... Jesus. The ending of this movie I was like, what is happening? It's fucking insane.
It didn't add any intrigue. It just was like, why?
It was just like, what is happening? It literally felt like Steven Seagal just wanted a scene where he wanted to remind us, oh yeah, I fuck. Like at the end, like that was the whole point of this. Also, as she's walking to the bedroom, that actress like stares down the barrel of the camera like 4 times, like separate times. She like looks over into the camera. And then she just gets naked, and then the credits roll, and I was like, "What is that? Like what? What?
You would think like if it's like some they have the joke that some men have a secret family or whatever. It's like this guy just has a secret cop job where he is murdering people. Like,
the script at the end here becomes incomprehensible. Like it's just like, wait, what was I? What was any of this? What was this? What did I just watch? It's so
Steven
weird.
Seagal, I didn't know you had a family, and my family doesn't know I have a job. I keep my work life and personal life separate.
It's fucking insane. And then I'm like, am I supposed to like him at the end of this movie? Surely not. He was cheating on his wife, and like he had a girlfriend in his other life, and she got murdered, and he did not care. He's the worst person.
This is like if that Secret Life like completely fell apart, where it's like, oh well, I guess I got nothing to tie me here anymore.
Yeah, I'll just go back to my normal life. I'll just go back to my original life with my wife and 2 kids. It's so weird. It's so weird, Kyle. I was like, what the fuck? Anyways, I don't know if this is good, bad, or bad. I am right on the line.
I'm gonna go more towards bad. Just because it's so weird to say that the fast-paced editing made this film more boring.
Oh my god, yes, but you are absolutely correct. It made it more boring to the point where you just zone out. You're like, I can't even tell what's happening. It's just chaos. And it's just, I will say, Steven Seagal's performance and watching, I was laughing a lot during the fighting scenes at like the way they stitched the stunt double together with Steven Seagal. That was funny every time. And then Steven Seagal's performance is very funny. And then the ending is truly nuts, but it is pretty boring apart from that.
I was gonna say with the narrative and the look on Steven Seagal's face the whole time, it was hard to believe if anything in this film was gonna pass.
Yeah.
It's a shit joke.
No, I got it, Kyle. I got it. It's about pooping. I got it.
Good.
As always, you can do us a giant favor by heading over to patreon.com, paying us $5 a month for more high-level, high-caliber shit jokes like the one Kyle just made.
Ultimate highbrow humor.
Ooh, so good. Support us there. That would be super great. You can also do us a giant favor by buying our merch. We have merch. Just go to tpublic.com, search for Good, Bad, or Bad, and you'll find us. I have a podcast called This Film Is Lit where we talk about movies that are based on books. When this episode's out, our most recent episode will have been Annihilation, the 2018 film. Natalie Portman, Alex Garland, who did Ex Machina and all that, directed it. Very good film. Also a very good book. So I read that one and we talked about that in our most recent episode. You can go check that out. Occasionally we stream on Twitch. Just head over to twitch.tv / the things on the screen and you can find us there, and occasionally we'll do some stuff.
I'll try to get some more stuff going. There's this really kind of in development game right now called Evercraft Online, which is basically just Minecraft and EverQuest put together.
Oh, so it's totally Kyle, did you make this?
No, but it is the two things that I enjoy most, which is EverQuest and Minecraft put into one thing.
Somebody found your dream journal, Kyle.
Basically, they found my dream journal and put it together.
Yeah, that's there you go. Interesting. Go check that out. And that's gonna do it. Until next time, keep watching movies.
Just not.
It's on YouTube for free, so you can.
I mean, it's not going to cost you anything except your time.
Yeah, which that's worth more than what this movie is values. Like it's not.
Yes.
Everything the best in this movie is in this review, so you don't need to support Steven Seagal any further. The end.